taste the nectar of the holy name. If we have the desire to get Krishna Prem, he used the word Viharane Yadi Chitta Vritti. If you want to swim in the ocean of Krishna Prem, then Chaitanya Chandra Charane Saranam Prayatu. Simply take shelter to lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In this age of Kali, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared as the most magnanimous Lord called Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Brajendra Nandana Jai, Sochi Sutta Hoilo Sai, Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Krishna Nandanandan, he appeared as Sriman Mahaprabhu, and Balaram appeared as Lord Nityananda Prabhu. As we know from different scriptures, that Advaitacharya, Narada Muni, and many devotees, seeing how right in the beginning of Kali Yuga, people were so engrossed in material life, material activities, that Advaitacharya and Narada Muni and other devotees felt that unless the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself comes, there was no hope. Even though the Lord just left, Narada Muni in Vrindavan, there is a beautiful description how he sat in Narada Kunda and begged the Lord to appear. There are different reasons in the scriptures that describes why the Lord appears. Of course, there are external reason and there are internal reason. Nevertheless, the whole mood of the Lord to appear is one is to glorify the love of the Brajavasis, especially Srimati Radharani. Therefore, our Acharyas sing, Jadi Gaur na hoita tobe ki hoita. If Mahaprabhu did not appear, what would happen? We cannot fathom. Radhara Mahima Prema Rasa Sima Jagote Janatoke. Who would broadcast the glories of Srimati Radharani if Mahaprabhu did not appear? So here we are talking about glorifying Srimati Radharani. The Lord appeared, he took the mood of Srimati Radharani, complexion of Srimati Radharani, and he appeared. So what did the Lord do when he appeared as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking the mood and complexion of Srimati Radharani? One is to taste the nectar of Krishna, and the other is to freely distribute love of Godhead, to preach. Anarpitam charim chirat. He came to give which has not been given for a long, long time. That is Krishna Prem. That is Braja Prem he came to give. Ama bina anna nare Braja Prem dite. No other incarnation of Krishna can give Braja Prem. Rama, Nrsimha, Varaha, Kurma, they cannot give Braja Prem. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he describes, Ama bina anna nare Braja Prem dite. No one can distribute love of Godhead, Braja Prem. Therefore, the Lord himself has appeared. through the congregational chanting of the holy name, the Supreme Lord distributed love of Godhead. Brahmara Durlabha Prem. That which is even very, very rare to Lord Brahma. Sabakare Chache. He's going from door to door, begging the people to accept. It's an interesting, Jache, he's requesting, please, please take. Normally, people go from door to door for begging to asking something. Here, the Lord himself, and he ordered his devotees to go from door to beg to accept love of Godhead. This is the difference of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and any other incarnation of the Lord, including Krishna himself. It was in Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. As we know, he lived for a long, long time. 147 years he lived in this world. So he was spending 6 months in Vrindavan and 6 months in Navadvip Dham. At one point he decided he's just going to come to Navadvip Dham and live here, end his life here. So the Brajvasis came to Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj and was requesting, Babaji Maharaj, why are you going to Navadvip Dham? It's so far, you're so aged, and Bihari Baba has to carry you on a basket. Just live here. We're so happy to have you here. Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj explained to those Brajvasis that Mahaprabhu is so merciful. I'm so wretched. I'm so low class. Somehow or other, if I can go to Navadvip Dham and take full shelter of the Lord, my life's desire will be fulfilled. Just look at Krishna, look at Mahaprabhu, look at their, the characteristics are so distinct. Here Krishna kills the demons, and look at how Mahaprabhu delivered Jagai and Madhai. Look how Mother Yashoda was chastising Krishna because he broke some butter pots. And look how Mother Sachi reacted or responded to Nimai when Nimai broke the pots. It is the nature of Navadvip Dham to be magnanimous. It is the nature of the devotees of Navadvip Dham to be very merciful. It is the nature of the Lord when he appears as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Papi tapi joto chilo harinam uddharilo tar sakhi jagai madhai. No matter how low you are, how wretched you are, no matter what your situation is, simply take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Lord will embrace you, the Lord will accept you. And the proof is Jagai Madhai. When Yamaraj asked Chitragupta, because he saw how Mahaprabhu delivered Jagai and Madhai, Yamaraj was stunned, Chaitanya Bhagavat explains. He fainted. At one point he asked Chitragupta, my dear Chitragupta, can you tell me what Jagai Madhai has done? What sinful activities he has done? Chitragupta said, my Lord, don't bother. Don't bother. There is no point. Even if many people goes on for a long time, they will not be able to finish reading out the sinful activities done by Jagai and Madhai. Just see how glorious is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sriman Mahaprabhu and Navadvip Dham is our hope. And therefore, Prabhupada Saraswati says, Chaitanya Chandra Charane Saranam Prayatu. My dear devotees, please take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's so nice that Gaur Purnima is coming up and devotees are gearing up for that festival. So we prepare our consciousness, our mind for that great occasion of Gaur Purnima festival. Now, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, Navadev Hanagram Tribhuvanenai Jatha Avatirna Hoila Chaitanya Gosai. In this 14 planetary system, there is no place like Navadvip Dham. There cannot be a place like Navadvip Dham. Why? Because Jatha Avatirna Hoila Chaitanya Gosai. Because this is where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared. He came with this mood to somehow or other reach out to the people and give Krishna prema. And therefore, he started his mission even before he appeared. As we know, from all the authorized biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the eclipse, that before even the Lord appeared, by the desire of the Lord, there was eclipse. At that time, when the Lord appeared in Navadvip Dham, people were more into worshipping Durga Devi, Mother Kali, all Shaktas. But there was a culture, there was a custom. Even when there would be an eclipse, everyone would go to Ganga, take a bath, blow the conch. And no matter what your beliefs are, everyone chants the glories of Hari. And the Lord knew that. So by the desire of the Lord, there was eclipse. And Kiva Sisu Britta Nari Sachan Durjan Sabe Hari Hari Boli Dekhiya Grahan. Everyone, without any distinction, everybody went to the Ganga. They were taking a deep and chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Sakala Brahmando Bapilek Haridhani. Nothing else could be heard except for Haridhani. Imagine millions and millions of people. ISKCON devotees, we have some experience. If you go to Mayapur or you go to Russia, some huge festival, there will be thousands of devotees chanting. I remember a couple of years back, we had a huge festival in Calcutta, and there were 15,000 devotees in the stadium, Netaji Indoor Stadium, celebrating Prabhupada's coming to America. And chanting with 15,000 devotees was a whole different experience. That energy. And I had the opportunity to lead the kirtan there. So I remember that experience of chanting 15,000 devotees. You go to Bangladesh, thousands of devotees chanting. It's a whole different experience when you chant with many devotees. It's very, very powerful. So here in Navadvip Dham, just before the Lord appeared, there was millions of people chanting Hari Bol, chanting different names of Krishna. Now the devotees, Apurva Sunyas of Bhagavatavan. When the devotees saw this beautiful scene where people who would never chant, suddenly they're all in the bank of the Ganga chanting. They're all Shaktas, devotees of Mother Durga or Kali, and now they're all chanting the holy name of Krishna. So, Apurva Sunyas of Bhagavatagan Sabe Bole Nirantar Hok Graham. My dear Lord, our request to you is that May this eclipse never end. Let this eclipse be always there. In that way, people will always chant. This is the desire of the devotee. Somehow or other, when the devotees see a living entity suffering, they may not realize that they are suffering, but the devotees know. There is no other shelter other than the holy name. Somehow or other, they try to give holy name to the other people. So through eclipse, because of the eclipse, everyone was chanting. And while everyone was chanting, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared in Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham. There was a beautiful description how Sochi Jagannath দেখি পুত্রের সে মুখ দুইজনে হইলেন আনন্দ স্বরূপ. When Mother Sachi and Jagannath Mishra saw this most beautiful form of Nimai, the most beautiful, most stunning, they became the very personification of happiness. Everyone came to see Baby Nimai. There was a huge festival in the courtyard of Mother Sachi. The dancers were dancing, the drummers were playing the drum. There was a huge festival. And everyone immediately upon seeing Baby Nimai, they felt the connection. The moment anyone saw Baby Nimai, their hearts just melted. All their suffering just disappeared. They all felt that they had some very, very strong bonding simply by seeing Nimai. Somehow or other, they became very, very attached to the Lord. Very attached. And they don't know why. They became very attached to the Lord. The demigods, the demigoddess, they all came. They disguised themselves as human beings. And they came to see the Lord. Devestre Norostre Napare Chinite. They were so engrossed, they were so absorbed with Nimai that they're being surrounded by so many unknown people, they did not even recognize that. They were not bothered. Imagine you're in a place in your own hometown, and suddenly you're surrounded by unknown people. You'd be, at least you would recognize who are these people in my home. Or, say, imagine you're just standing in your courtyard and suddenly you're surrounded by, so many unknown, at least some reaction would be there. But the Navadvip Basis, they were so observed, they were so happy. Their life and soul had become Nimai. So they did not even care. Nothing bothered them. And there is a beautiful description of how Mother Sachi, when Mother Sachi saw the beauty of his son, he was so absorbed, so engrossed, that so many demigods in disguise as human beings and so many inhabitants, they were coming and paying respect. She was just so absorbed in Nimai that someone else, Mother Malini Devi, Srivas Thakur's wife, she took care of all the guests that came in and making sure that everyone was looked after. Because Mother Sachi, the inhabitants of Navadvip, most of them, they just forgot everything around them. This is devotional service. When we chant, we say that this is the best chanting. What is best chanting? That when you forget everything else, you forget the past, you don't think about the future, you just so into chanting that you can't think of anything else. That's the best chanting. Now, the inhabitants of Navadvip, they were performing devotional service, pure devotional service. Nothing else bothered them. So this was the first interaction with the Dhambasis and Mahaprabhu. Naturally, they became very, very attached to the Lord. Now, when you are attached to somebody, when you really love somebody, you don't want to see them cry. You want to make sure they're happy all the time. And you play a part in their happiness. That is love. So the inhabitants of Navadvip, especially the ladies, they become so attached to the Lord. And the desire of the Lord was to somehow or other make them chant. So he found a way. He was just newborn baby. The newborn baby usually don't talk. They simply cry. They express their desire, their liking, disliking through smile, through cry. And baby Nimai began to cry. And that broke the hearts of the inhabitants of Navadvip, especially the ladies. They tried so many ways to pacify Nimai, so many ways. Dancing, doing dramas, giving him so many toys, singing, acting, but nothing was pacifying the Lord. So at one point, the inhabitants now they said, Hari Hari, why are you crying? Sometimes we say, oh Krishna, why are you doing this? So the inhabitants say, oh Krishna, why are you crying? Hari Hari, Govinda, why are you crying? So when the inhabitants said, oh Krishna, Govinda, Hari Hari, that brought smile to Nimai. It took some time, but they understood. Koraite chahe Prabhu apona kirtan, etadorthe kore Prabhu sakhane rodan. Why he was doing this? Because he wanted the inhabitants to chant his name. That is the way for deliverance. So right from the childhood, right from his birth, even before his birth, he began to distribute the holy name. This is Mahaprabhu. No time, place, and circumstances. Not considering who's qualified, who's not qualified. Simply giving with open heart. This is Mahaprabhu. Therefore, when Prabhupada came to Atlanta, Prabhupada cried in ecstasy, singing Parama Karuna Puhudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra. They are the most magnanimous Lord. When Nimai was only 3 months old, he thought that let me show some opulence to my parents. Nimai was only 3 months old. Nimai was simply lying down on the bed. What does the 3-month-old baby do? Suddenly, both of them, sorry, both of them saw small baby footprint all over the house with all this, the Lord or the Mahapurusas, they have certain sign that they have in their lotus feet. So they saw that all over the house, the small, baby footprint. So Sachimata is telling her husband, Jagannath Mishra, my dear Prabhu, please see what's going on. Mishra কহে বাল গোপাল আছে শিলা সঙ্গে. My dear Sachi, please understand that we have this Bal Gopal Saligram Sila. They're not ordinary. That Saligram Sila actually took the form Tehomurti Hoya Gore Khelalana Range. They took that Saligram Sila took the form of Krishna and he is walking around. And that is the proof. So both of them, they're talking, and baby Nimai is just lying down and listening to his parents speak like this about him. It was actually Nimai who just got up, he was just lying down and felt a little bit bored at 3 months old. Oh, let me just walk around the house. This is what Nimai did. And after he did that, he was just lying down very peacefully. And, he was seeing how his parents just talking about how this is Bal Gopal, Saligram Sila took the form of Bal Gopal and started to walk, how they're so fortunate. At that time, Nimai began to cry, just to distract them. So when Nimai began to cry, Sachimata ran, picked up Nimai and began to feed breast milk to Nimai. And with so much love and attention, Mother Sachi was showering affection to Nimai. And then finally, Sachimata's eyes went to baby Nimai's lotus feet. And he saw all the marks that was all over the floor, all the auspicious mark. Called Jagannath Mishra. Prabhu, see, you're talking about Bal Gopal. But this is Nimai's feet, look. Jagannath Mishra ran to Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur, the father of Sachi Devi, father-in-law, and explained the whole story. This is what happened. Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur simply smiled and said, your son is not an ordinary person. He did not say he is God. He said he is a Mahapurusha. Of course, Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur knew many things. He even knew that in the future, the age of 24, Nimai would be taking sannyas. So some things he revealed and some things he did not reveal. So he said, he's a Mahapurusha. He'll be delivering the world. He's not an ordinary person. Like that, Nilambar Chakravarti Thakur pacified Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. When the time came to give names to Nimai, Dakini Sakini Hoite Sonka Upojilo Chitte Dorenam Thuilo Nimai. As you know that prior to Nimai's appearance, 6 daughters were born to Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. And all of them left their bodies. Then Vishwarup appeared. So Nimai is actually the 10th son of Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi. So in order to invoke auspiciousness, and that no inauspiciousness should touch Nimai, Dakini Sakini Hoite Sonka Upojilo Chitte. That no inauspiciousness comes. So in fear, the name Mahaprabhu as Nimai, because Nimai means bitter. Sometimes the parents, not so much in America, but the Indian parents, you'll see that they put a black dot sometime in child's forehead or here. That is to protect the child from any inauspiciousness. So the ladies of Navadvip Dham, they named Mahaprabhu as Nimai. And the Pandits, the learned scholars, Sarvaloker Koribe Iha Dharan Posan, that this child will maintain everyone. He will bring happiness. He will protect everyone. Because he will maintain everyone, he will protect everyone. Therefore, his name should be Visvambhar. So these two names became very, very prominent. One was Nimai by the ladies, and the Pandits gave the name Visvambhar. Another name became very, very prominent. Krishna Varna Taya Krishna Namanandu Suno Yatha. Because why we call Krishna, according to Gauranga Champu, one of the reasons is because Krishna has that complexion, blackish complexion. Therefore, he is called Krishna. Gauravarna Taya Gaura Namapi Sadyam Tatha. Because Mahaprabhu is golden, therefore he should be called Gaura. So, three names, Nimai, Visvambhar, and Gaurahari. And the inhabitants of Navadvip would call with this, mainly these three names. Just to know the nature of the child, a ceremony is performed, as you all know, where the parents put all different types of different attractive items. Now, what did Jagannath Mishra put? Dhanya puthi khori sarna rajatati jato. Jagannath Mishra put grains, literature, gold, silver, and many other things. And he also put Bhagavatam. And he told Nimai, Jagannath bole suno Bab Visvambhar, my dear son Visvambhar, Jaha chitter loho taha dhoroho sattar. Whatever you want, just go and grab it. You know, they go on the other side and they call the child. The whole inhabitants of Navadvip, they are there because they want to know the nature of this child, what this child will become when he grows up. It gives some indication. So Jagannath Mishra is encouraging Nimai, come on, whatever you want, grab it, come on. Sakal Chariya Prabhu Sri Sachinanda. Totally neglecting other items. Bhagavat Dhoriya Dilen Alingan. He went and grabbed Srimad Bhagavatam, gave a big hug to Srimad Bhagavatam. All the devotees there was in ecstasy that he did not touch grammar or food or gold or other scriptures. There were so many other scriptures too. But Nimai went and grabbed Srimad Bhagavatam. The devotees began to say that, oh, he will become a great devotee. With other scholars, no, he'll become a great scholar. There was one other beautiful pastime. As Nimai was growing up, he began to speak. And you know, as child, sometimes they don't know what is what. With broken language, they try to express themselves. So one day in the evening, the full moon came on the sky. Nimai does not know that the moon is called a moon because, you know, he's baby and, you know, he's acting like that, enjoying the parental love. So he goes and hugs Mother Sachi. He says, Ma, I want to show you one beautiful thing. Come out, come out. So Nimai drags his mother out and he shows the moon and says, look, such a beautiful swan. It's a swan, Ma, it's a swan. Mother Sachi says, Nimai, it's not a swan. It's our Uncle Moon, Chant Mama. So Nimai was very surprised. He says, Ma, what did you say? He says, it's our Chant, Uncle Moon, Chant Mama. So Nimai, he was taken back. He says, hold on, hold on. What do you mean by our Uncle Moon? You're my mother. So it's either your Uncle Moon or my Uncle Moon. It cannot be both of our Uncle Moon. How is that possible? How could one person be my mother's uncle and my uncle? It's not possible, ma. So what are you saying? Is it my uncle or is it your uncle? And Mother Sachi said, no, no, no. It's both of our uncle. So Nimai said, that's not possible. So Mother Sachi said, it's possible. So Nimai said, explain to me. So he said, Mother Sachi said, Lakshmiri Jagato Mata. Nimai, Lakshmi Devi, we address as Ma Lakshmi, you address and I address, right? So Nimai was taken back. It's true that I also say Ma Lakshmi, you also say Ma Lakshmi. Bharya Vishnur Jagato Srishta. Similarly, Supreme Father, Lord Vishnu is your Supreme Father and my Supreme Father. And similarly, Lakshmi Devi is your mother and my mother. Nimai said, yes. And therefore, this moon, somehow or other, is related to Lakshmi Devi. And therefore is your uncle and my uncle. Oh, okay, I got it. So now Nimai learned a new thing. That what he thought was a swan is actually not a swan, it's our Uncle Moon. Nimai was very happy. He started to jump because he thought this is something new that he learned. This is how the Lord gives satisfaction and happiness to his parents. So the next month, when the full moon came again, in the evening, Nimai began to cry. Oh, he was crying so pathetically that everyone thought something happened. So, Jagannath Mishra came, Sachimata came, they were trying to pacify Nimai, and somehow other Nimai was not getting pacified. Mother Sachi said, প্রভু বলে বলিলে যে যাহা আচ্ছা হাসি বলে শচী দেবে আরে অবধিয়া Sachi Mata said, whatever you want, you tell me and I'll give you that. So Nimai said, say that again. So just to make sure that this is what Mother Sachi was saying. So whatever you want, I'll give you. Please stop crying. So now Nimai is confident that this is the second time Mother Sachi said that he gets whatever he wants. So he looks at the sky and he said, I want our Uncle Moon. Mother Sachi began to laugh. Nimai was crying. And Mother Sachi began to laugh and said, what are you saying? I cannot give you that moon. And now Nimai got very angry. Prabhu bole bolile je jaha tumi chao taha dibo emon kohile kene bani. Why did you say that whatever I want you'll give? You're my mother. Now you're breaking my trust. How could you say that? You repeat that twice. That whatever I want you'll give, and now you said you will not give. ইহা বলি উচ্চ করি করয় রোদন. Nimai felt cheated by his mother. So he began to cry. The point was that Nimai's mood was that at least you call. You're not even trying. And you just say, no, I cannot give you. At least try, ma. At least call and see if he comes or no. At least try. So Basu goes, Thakur, one of Mahaprabhu's associate, he writes this beautiful song. Hearing Nimai, Sachimata actually thinks it's true. I didn't even call. So right in front of Nimai, Mother Sachi begins to call. My dear Uncle Moon, please come, please come. Na ase nitur chat Nimai Bakul. But the heartless moon does not come. He is there. Now, on the other hand, the moon god, he is feeling so ashamed that my Supreme Lord wants me to come, but I cannot come. It will be whole rasabhas. Suddenly the moon appears in the house of Mother Sachi. So he feels ashamed and he disappears into the cloud. And Mother Sachi said, Nimai, Nimai, look. See, you are so beautiful that even the moon is ashamed to stand in front of you. Sachimata runs to the house and brings a very beautiful painting of Radha and Krishna. And he says, look, look what I got for you. When Nimai sees the beautiful picture painting of Radha and Krishna, Nimai forgets everything and just hugs that beautiful painting. Today's time is going. So today's last pastime. Yeah, I'll tell this pastime. I don't know if you heard this pastime. Nimai began to go to the school of Gangadas Pandit, very well-known scholar. Every time Gangadas Pandit sat in front of Nimai and was trying to teach him something, he was stunned. How is it possible that a human child can learn so fast? I just have to say once, certain things I don't even have to explain. And when I ask Nimai something, he explains to me better than what I have explained to him. How is it possible? The only example in the history that I can think of is Krishna and Balaram in the ashram of Sandipani Muni. I need to know who this child is. So Gangadas Pandit made a plan. He knew that when Nimai got Upanayana, he took a vow that his feet would not touch the water of Ganges unless Nimai is going inside the water to take a full bath. Sometimes we go to Ganga, we sprinkle the water, then we put our foot into the Ganga water sometimes. Nimai took a vow not to do that. Only if he's going to take a dip, then his feet would touch the water. So this is the vow that Nimai took when he took Upanayana, the thread. So Gangadas Pandit knew this. So one day, after the school, Gangadas Pandit told Nimai, he said, Nimai, I would like you to come with me today alone. And both of us, we're going to take a dip into the Ganga together. And he told his other students, you go ahead, wherever you want to go. Your class is over. So Nimai understood the mood of his teacher. He said, yes, teacher, whatever you want. So both of them came to the Ganga and both of them went into the water of the Ganges to take a dip. Both of them took shower, took a dip. And because Gangadas Pandit is his teacher, So he wasn't planning to do a water sport with his teacher. Very respectfully, Nimai took a dip. He came out. He was waiting on the bank for his teacher to come out. And the teacher was purposefully taking his own sweet time to take his bath. After he took his bath, he was still in the water. And he told Nimai, he says, Nimai, you see that plate of sesame seeds? Please give that to me. Now, please understand that Nimai is on the bank and Gangadas Pandit is in the water. Now, if Nimai wants to hand over this plate of sesame seeds to the teacher, Nimai has to get down into the water to give it to him. And purposefully, Gangadas Pandit was standing a little bit distance from the bank, so Nimai gets into the water. But Nimai just took bath, so Nimai will not get into the water because then his feet will touch. So Gangadas Pandit wanted to know, how does Nimai deliver this plate of sesame seeds without Nimai's lotus feet getting wet in the water? This was the idea of Gangadas Pandit. And Nimai understood that my teacher is trying to test me, who I am. So without any hesitation, Nimai said, yes, I'm bringing the sesame plate. So he got the plate, and Gangadas Pandit's full concentration was looking at Nimai's lotus feet to see whether the lotus feet actually touches the water or not. And the moment Nimai was about to touch the Ganga water, out of nowhere, a beautiful lotus flower just appeared there into that water. Nimai put his lotus feet in that lotus flower. When Nimai was trying to put his another feet, another beautiful lotus flower just appeared. And Nimai just handed over the sesame plate to the teacher, came back to the bank. And Gangadas Pandit did not say anything. Nimai did not say anything. It was actually not the lotus flower. It was actually the hand of Mother Ganga herself. The personification of Mother Ganga appeared and took this opportunity. So that looked like two beautiful lotus flowers. In this way, Nimai performed so many wonderful pastimes, giving happiness to his parents, to his teacher, to his fellow friends, to the inhabitants of Navadvip Dham. There was the two sides of his pastime in Navadvip. One is enchanting the inhabitants of Navadvip through his naughtiness. And the other one, right from his childhood, from different pastimes, the Lord is distributing love of Godhead through the congregational chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I thank again. I offer my gratitude to all of you for giving me this chance to say something about Mahaprabhu. Please read Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Mangal. There's so many beautiful pastimes. Please immerse yourself to the nectar of the Lord's pastime. And in this way, you celebrate Gaur Purnima. Narottam Das Thakur and other acharyas, they have revealed the real way of celebrating festival. In Kheturi, this was disclosed by Narottam Das Thakur, by Jannava Mata, how to observe Gaur Purnima festival, there are three angles in Kheturi Mahotsav. First is how the respected and worshipped devotees. And the second part was hearing and chanting. And the third part is doing Mahabhisek and doing beautiful offering to Mahaprabhu, the festivities, taking care of so many minute details. But if you have to categorize the Kheturi festival, these are the three parts: worshipping and respecting devotees, taking care of devotees, hearing and chanting, and Abhisek, dressing the Lord, Puspa Abhisek, and doing a grand offering to the Lord. So these are the three aspects of the festival. And Prabhupada has given us Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please try to immerse yourself in hearing and chanting the glories of the Lord. In this way, take part in the festival. Hare Krishna. My time is up.
Thank you so much for the wonderful nectar of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Any devotees have any questions? Madhubhadra Prabhu or anyone?
No, thank you very much, Prabhu. I was just wondering, we have heard about your wonderful kirtans. If you can also sing a kirtan.
Well, right now I'm sitting in a room. There's nothing in here. Not even a kartha, no harmonium, nothing.
Okay.
But I'm going back to Mayapur on the 26th. I'll reach Mayapur on the Gaur Purnima day. Maybe some other day, yeah, we could do a kirtan with all of you together.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
My Guru Maharaj Jayadvaita Swami is a fan of your kirtan, so he has your kirtan on his laptop. Like all things. Jayadvaita Swami.
Oh, my Krishna. My respectful obeisances to him.
Yeah. Okay.
Now the devotees are coming to the temple as normal, or there's some restrictions there?
Yeah, we never closed in central New Jersey, but we always had restrictions that they need to wear mask, follow social distancing, and when we have festivals, we'll monitor the temperature and everything and let them go in. During Nityananda Tradasi, we celebrated it at the temple. We had 207 devotees who came at different times. Gaur Purnima also, we're going to celebrate it. The vaccine has come out. Some of our devotees already got the vaccine. All our temple resident devotees got the vaccine, the first dose. So, yeah. Any questions from the devotees? Discussions?
So learned scholars.
No.
I have to ask. Okay, I'll take your leave, Prabhu, Madhupati Prabhu, and Amananda Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
So, Prabhu, I'd like to invite you again. So, I'll coordinate with you some other time again.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Vancha kalpatarubhasya.
Prabhu,